Thank you, Adrian. Evening, everyone. Now, we all know that Christmas is full of great traditions, the twinkling lights of the market, the obligatory office party. Is there one of those tonight somewhere? The annual trip to see Aladdin or Cinderella. A glorious festive shouting at the stage spectacle. But is Andoni Iraola and Bournemouth turning up at Old Trafford in December and taking United apart, becoming a new, terrifying annual tradition for the Stretford end? Oh yes, it is. It happened in 2023, a 3-0 smash and grab with Billing, Senesi and Solanke on the score sheet. It happened in 2024, another 3-0 rout thanks to Dean Howson, Kluivert and Semenyo. So can it really happen for a third time? Well, United have won their last 3. They're 7 places above the Cherries. They've spent millions bolstering their front line. On paper, you might suggest, oh no, it can't. But with Manchester United's worrying tendency to fluff their lines in big moments, everybody knows, oh yes, it can. Steve Bruce is back at the Theatre of Dreams tonight. Who are the main characters who can help Manchester United finally write a different, happier ending?
Well, I guarantee it won't be 3-0 again, Sam. Come on. I have to say I've been really impressed with the two new guys who give Man United something else at the top end of the pitch. We've just talked well about how they've created a lot of chances and what they've done. So with Mates and Mount in a little bit of form too, them 3 in particular are going to win the game for Man United tonight.
Manchester United make just one change from the victory over Wolves a week ago. Then the Euro comes in for the AFCON bound Mazraoui. And Bournemouth also make one alteration with Tyler Adams coming into midfield at the place of Alex Scott. The referee tonight is Simon Hooper. The VAR is Paul Howard. Manchester United in red shirts, white shorts, black socks, attacking the goal away to our right. It's all blue for Bournemouth, who will attack the Stretford end in the first half. After his worst 48 hours as Chelsea boss, tomorrow TalkSport has live commentary of Cardiff against Chelsea in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Then on Wednesday we have a choice of the last 2 ties on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. But our focus tonight is on the drama at Old Trafford, where the curtain is about to come down on the Premier League weekend. Manchester United are hoping they don't get stage fright and can stop Bournemouth thinking that this is the most wonderful time of the year to come to Old Trafford. Former United skipper Steve Bruce is here. United have to match the intent, aggression and attitude of Bournemouth tonight, don't they?
Oh, they certainly do, and with the crowd behind them the way they are, I have to say the 70-odd thousand have certainly made their voices certainly loud and clear. Great atmosphere in the stadium as we kick off.
Adams heads the ball forward through the middle of the centre circle. It bounces unconvincingly for Senesi, and then Cunha almost squeezed through a tight gap, but the ball is repelled by Bournemouth and worked out towards this left-hand side. Eventually it's collected and sent forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Jimenez tries to feed the ball into Marcus Tavernier. It doesn't quite come off and it's cleared away. This is TalkSport. Here is Senesi with a long ball forward just over the halfway line. It's too close to the goalkeeper, Sena Lomans, who comes out and collects, and Steve and I were talking about him earlier on today and suggesting that quietly he's gone about his business well.
Yeah, he's been very steady, hasn't he, which Man United needed, of course. He's done very well, the kid. And as we were talking about at just before the game.
Oh, great ball by Cunha. He's released it out towards the right-hand side. Ahmad is running through to the edge of the area. He gives it to Mbeumo. It's a bit behind him, but he's kept hold of it. A back heel into Fernandes. A double deflection. Did it hit a hand? The referee says no. It's cleared away on the right edge of the penalty area. A really good clearance, a strong clearance as well by Truffert, and it's out towards the far side. Back it comes via Cunha. Good Manchester United attack. Casemiro into Cunha again, who strikes it, deflection. That's behind and away for the first corner of the game. That's the kind of fast start that Manchester United needed, and they maybe should have got an opener there, Steve, with a better ball into Mbeumo from Ahmad.
Yeah, maybe a better pass. He'll be disappointed that he missed the pass, didn't he? Just overhit it a little bit, and I'm not liking the look. What I've seen of the boy here who's made the block. Looks as if he could have picked up a nasty injury.
Well, I think on the edge of the penalty area it was Tyler Adams who has collided just in front of the D, and that has generated a lot of movement from the Bournemouth bench, and Evan Nilsson immediately has come over to tell Andoni Iraola he's going to have to make a change here. And Adams, who suffered so badly with injuries since coming to English football and has been recently touted as a possible Manchester United recruit in the next window. It looks as if he's going to have to be replaced within the first 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, it's a nasty one. It looks as if it's his ankle or lower ankle anywhere, or maybe shin, but he's put a block in there and been brave enough. And what a disaster that is for the kid who's had a fair share of injuries.
Just wondered,
look, because he tweaked his knee with the challenge.
That's what I was worried about there. The way they were manipulating it, it certainly looked that way. They'd already started to warm up a substitute. Alex Scott is about to come on, I think, for Andoni Iraola and Bournemouth. We played just 3 minutes, and that is going to be a very early change for Bournemouth. And Tyler Adams back on his feet now and only able to limp towards the near touchline after that block 5 yards in front of the D in the dead centre of the Manchester United half. He went towards the ball and Cunha, they both struck it, and Cunha went in with full force.
I wouldn't be surprised he's tweaked his knee. It's a classic one where your foot's not really planted against it. He's moving a bit more better than he was 5-10 seconds ago, but are they going to make the change? Or interesting.
Well, Scott is stripped and ready for action on this near touchline and ready to come on. I don't think they are going to take a chance, are they? Well, no, Scott's going to sit back down now and Adams is going to continue possibly. I don't think it's a sensible thing to do that. Here's the corner on the near side and it's going to be taken by Ahmad. They're down to 10 players as the ball goes into the box and he's smuggled towards goal, and somehow it's repelled behind by, I think, Semenya plays it against Dallo and it goes out on the far side and out for a goal kick. But it was a brilliant arcing ball right underneath the goalkeeper, who flapped at that furiously, went through the defence and out the other side.
I think the goalkeeper looked as if he was cleaning windows there, never mind what he was doing with it, Sam, I have to say.
He was nowhere near it, was he?
Not at all.
Absolutely nowhere near it. There's a substitution. Tyler Adams comes off and Alex Scott is on for Bournemouth. United, a team that promises chances at both ends. United take more shots than anyone in the league, but at the other end they've kept just one clean sheet all season.
And as we were talking about the hybrid back four, back five, if that's not a back four at the moment, I'll stand tapping really, because Ahmad's up the pitch and Yoro's in a right back situation.
Yeah.
So is that a hybrid?
Yeah, we call it a hybrid. Yeah, fluid hybrid.
Okay, Sam, I'll go with it. I love it.
Let's follow it and see what happens.
Not that dinosaur after all.
No one said you were, did they?
Oh yeah, many a time.
Here is Yoro to take the throw in just short of the halfway line. 5 minutes gone. Down the touchline it goes into Mbeumo, gets a good leap, nods it back into the centre of midfield where Casemiro is waiting for it. He finds Yoro with the pass. He goes down the touchline towards Mbeumo again, but Truffert manages to win it back, and then Kluivert then plays it infield. Tavernier looking for the return to Kluivert. There was a foul there on Marcus Tavernier, and Simon Hooper, the referee, quickly blows his whistle. It's a free kick just 15 yards inside Manchester United territory for Bournemouth, just left of centre. Mason Mount penalised there. Manchester United gradually finding a little bit of form under Ruben Amorim. They've lost just one of the last 9 since the beginning of October. They would love to build on that tonight. A win takes Bournemouth 11th. A United victory takes them into the top 5. Here is Ahmad. His last action before he goes away to the AFCON. He's brought down by Semenya as he looks to escape down the right side, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, good start by Manchester United. They've had 1 or 2 opportunities, the corner being one, and the through ball from Ahmad. He'll be just a bit disappointed. It was the wrong side of Mbeumo.
Casemiro up to Mount. Mount runs diagonally from the left side into the centre and does brilliantly to dance away from Smith and plays it into the path of Cunha, who turns and runs down the right channel, gets up towards within 5 or 6 yards of the penalty area and then turns backwards, plays it into Casemiro, and Manchester United reset and build again from the halfway line. 7 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 0. Here's Heaven wandering away from the attempt of a challenge by Evan Nilsson, and the ball is played out towards this right hand side where it's collected by Ahmad. Ahmad goes into the area, goes down the right hand side, gets into the box, plays it against Senesi's legs, who got there with a block, and it's behind and away for another corner to Manchester United, who have put the pressure on in the early exchanges here.
Yeah, I thought he was going to dive in there, the full-back. He stood well, held his ground well, because he could have quite easily gone to ground with that challenge.
It's a good ball, crossfield ball by Mason Mount actually, who picked it up left side, switched it out to the right. Ahmad then ran at the defender, went on the outside of Truffert, and then collided with Senesi and it's gone out for another corner. They called damage from the first one. A left-footed ball into the same area, a little flick from the defender, almost comes out to Mount. There's a good clearance by Kluivert and then headed into the air by Tavernier, but Manchester United have won it back again and turned it over, and still the pressure is on. The red shirts flooding forward, and Bournemouth is down the left side of the box. He crossed it into Mason Mount, who shoots. Good save by Petrovic to parry it away, and Manchester United had the first shot on target in the game. Well worked down the left, Shaw poking it into the path of Bournemouth, and then a volley into the ground by Mason Mount, parried away by Petrovic to the near post.
Mount has had a wonderful start, hasn't he? He spread two wonderful passes from left to right, and then on his wrong foot, his left foot, he's connected with that fantastically well. Great save by the goalkeeper.
Dallo to take the throw in on the near side. It's a long one in towards the near post. It's flicked away by Truffert. Back in by Ahmad. And Bournemouth has stayed in. It's left by him by Cunha, who then gets the return. Sets it back for Casemiro, whose shot is repelled, and Ahmad can't get there because Senesi has just poked it to Truffert, and they've just about got it away. Manchester United putting Bournemouth under the cosh here in the opening 9 minutes of the game. Well won by Yoro. Right side of the Bournemouth half is Dallo into Casemiro, who shot from distance, but it's 5 yards over the bar. And there were numbers flooding forward, and maybe they should have used them a little bit better, but it's a very good start for Manchester United.
Yeah, a bit adventurous from Casemiro, I have to say, with his left foot from 30 yards. Maybe there was a better option to take on, but a wonderful start from United, you're right, Sam.
Well, on the night of Halloween, Bournemouth was second in the Premier League. They had 18 points from 9 games, their best ever start to a Premier League season, 4 points behind the leaders Arsenal. Since then it's been something of a horror show really for Andoni Iraiola's team. They've taken 2 points from 6 Premier League games since November the 1st. Only Wolves and Burnley have fewer points since the start of that month. And Manchester United were almost in again, with Bournemouth being played in behind. A deflection took it away from the Cameroon international. Cleared away by Senesi, taken in by Semenyo. He works it wide to Kluivert. Evanilson is trotting through the middle. Tavernier is in there too. Truffert has joined the attack. His low cross is blocked by Shaw, and it's put out for a throw-in down by the corner flag. It remains 0-0.
Yeah, it gives you a little indication of how Bournemouth on the break. Great challenge by Shaw in the finish, but he had to make sure he was right.
Traditionally they are a front-footed team. You know, they play 4-2-3-1. They get numbers up the pitch. They're happy to trade punches with you. They've scored 3 or more goals on 3 occasions already this season. They've leaked 4 goals twice already this campaign. You really get a quiet evening with an Iraola team.
No, I agree with you, and it looks that way.
Here's the throw-in from the near side. Semenyo with a launcher in towards the near post. Senesi with the header. It's over the bar, but it took a deflection on the way through, and it goes out for the first Bournemouth corner of the game. This is TalkSport. We're live here at the Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, on what has been a terribly rainy day in Manchester.
It's been brutal all day, hasn't it?
It's been
awful Manchester day.
But it's a little bit drier now, which is good news.
And here's this corner, what they were defending half an hour ago in the warm-up.
Well, they've been
more different now.
They've been practicing this. The difference is they've now got Evanilson to worry about, and Diakite coming up from the back, and Senesi's in there as well. It's Kluivert's delivery, and it's punched away by Senna-Lomans, retrieved by Semenyo far side, a yard in from the far touchline. He just allows that to run out because he knows that's going to be another throw-in, and he's got this brilliant ability to catapult the ball in to the penalty area from the long throw. He decides to go shorter this time into Diakite, gets it back and then produces a cross into the area which Ahmad will head away. It comes out on the edge of the box, but Bournemouth's pressure continues. The offside flag is up against Semenyo, who's a bit lazy getting out.
Yeah, very, very lazy. You'd be disappointed with that happened to you. You could see right along the way, along the line, and hasn't done enough to get higher up the pitch to make himself onside. Big opportunity for him to put another cross into the box.
Free kick in the left full-back position for Manchester United, who started the game really well, but it's still 0-0. Lenny Yoro back to Senna-Lomans, who's under pressure from Evanilson. He kicks long down the field towards Mbeumo. Senesi is alongside him. They're wrestling for the football. It deflects off Mbeumo and picked up by Alex Scott, who was a very early substitute in the game for the injured Tyler Adams. Back to Senesi, the Argentine centre back. Heaven takes it off the toes of Kluivert. Drops in midfield for Bruno Fernandes, who immediately shuffles it out, looking for Mount. It's cleared away by Adam Smith, but Mount's got it back again, tried to bring it down, was being held by Adam Smith, and that's going to be a free kick just left of the centre circle for Manchester United. 0-0 the score. TalkSport. Tomorrow night we've got Carabao Cup football, Chelsea against Cardiff. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, all tonight's action will be poured over by Jeff Stelling and the Breakfast Crew. 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wednesday night, we've got 2 Carabao Cup ties for you on TalkSport and TalkSport 2, and the festive football just keeps coming out of your ears. Well, in fact, it comes out of our ears and into yours. Here is Dallo in towards the near post. Cunha up there with a header, and then Ahmad is on the line, and he will head it home, and Manchester United take a lead after 13 minutes. Terrible defending by Bournemouth. Crossing from Dallo on the left-hand side. Cunha headed it into the air. Everybody was stargazing. He dropped on the line, and Ahmad was there to poke it home. Manchester United 1, Bournemouth 0.
What a wonderful cross into the box from Dallo, I think it is, and Cunha should have scored himself maybe, and it sort of looped up in the air, but Ahmad's there to, he'll not score an easier goal, will he? Great start for Man United, and just exactly what they wanted.
Well, I don't know what the Bournemouth defence were doing. It was a good ball into the box, but Cunha sort of almost misheaded it into the air. It went up. Everybody was looking around bamboozled as to where it was. They kind of lost their coordinates there. But Ahmad started out picking up a loose ball in midfield. He played it centrally into Casemiro. Casemiro then worked it out wide towards the far side. Picked up by Dallo, who faced up the defender, cut in on his right foot. He arced the ball into the 6-yard box. The ball was headed into the air by Cunha, who really should have put it beyond the goalkeeper in the first place. Now, was Ahmad in an offside position?
He could be. I fear for him. I think he could be. When you look at here now, when he just gets the touch, it's one of them close ones.
Well, what actually happened was Cunha headed it down, it came off the goalkeeper and went into the air, and as it dropped down, everybody else was behind Ahmad. So it's whether or not Ahmad is in an offside position as that ball is flicked on by Cunha.
Now, did Cunha get a touch to it? That's what they've got to be looking at. Did Cunha touch it?
Let's have a look. I don't know if he did touch it, you know. I think it might have just come off the goalkeeper.
I think it's come off him. I mean, he's definitely interfering with play, but I think he misses it.
No, I don't think Cunha touches it, in which case then he's got to be onside. If Cunha doesn't touch that, he's got to be onside. Goal. Yeah, good decision. Although I don't like the fact that we had to wait a minute and a half for it to be confirmed. And it has been confirmed now. Simon Hooper has pointed to the spot. Manchester United lead by a goal to 0, and Ahmad has put in from 2 yards out. Manchester United lead, and after a really strong start to the game, they've scored yet another first half goal, and they have scored the second most first half goals in the Premier League this season. Ahmad has been knocked to the floor. Referee has given a free kick against Semenyo, and it's going to be a free kick just in from the touchline. Manchester United 1, Bournemouth 0. Here's Steve Bruce.
Yeah, you would have been really disappointed if you're a Bournemouth centre back there. The ball's come in really from a long way, and you've got to be in a position to head that clear. They'd be really disappointed that they haven't been able to get a header on the ball.
Yep, and the goalkeeper does get a touch on it. I think maybe the goalkeeper can be forgiven a little bit because he's expecting Cunha to get a touch and he doesn't, and it sort of deflects off his arm, goes into the floor, then bounces up into the air, and it drops on the head of
And we all expected Cunha to score, really, and he missed it completely by the looks of it, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what put the goalkeeper off. It fell very, very kindly for Adnan.
Manchester United 1, Bournemouth 0. TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Manchester United versus Bournemouth live right now. Search Now Sports. Here's Kluivert down the left hand side, sending the ball into towards Tavernier, who's approaching on the edge of the penalty area, well defended by Diogo Dallo, and cleared away by Manchester United, who lead here. And still 1 or 2 encroachments into the Manchester United penalty area, which will concern Ruben Amorim, I think.
Well, marvellous piece of skill by Kluivert, I think it was, and Semenyo. They've got in down that right-hand side, and a little better ball across, and Man United were in trouble a little bit.
And the hybrid back 4-5 system getting pierced there when Ahmad is left just a little bit too high up the pitch. And that's happened now, and Tavernier's won the ball, and he's poked it through to Kluivert. Lenny Yoro's going to get there on the edge of the area and poke it clear. But that all happened because they were slightly misshapen. They gave the ball away, and Tavernier tried to poke it into Kluivert.
Yeah, they nearly give it away, didn't they, on the edge of the area, give the ball away in a bad area. Casemiro's been caught here. I don't think it's anything too serious. He doesn't go over very, very often, though, this fella. So, yeah, United have just got to be a little bit careful. And believe me, this is a back four he's playing. But what I can see, I can't see at all that Adnan's playing as a wing back at all. Looks as if Yoro's playing right back and going to play against Semenyo.
Well, shall we see if we can get the average positions of the Manchester United players so we can sort of find that out? Because him and Dalot are both now on the halfway line on opposite sides of the pitch, and Yoro, Heaven, and Shaw are across the edge.
Build with the back three. Certainly, when they're out of possession, they're in a back four area, and Yoro's simply up against Semenyo, really. So it all depends how you want to put that. The hybrid might be the best word.
Yes, well, we should go for that for now. Here on the halfway line, Manchester United have the ball. Senesi ducked underneath that cross into the box, which eventually ended up on Ahmad's head. Plays it forward towards the left, looking for Kluivert. Kluivert then infield finds Tavernier. The ball is switched by Scott to the far side, and taking it down is Jimenez, who then gets dispossessed by Diogo Dalot. Jimenez started out on the left-hand side, now has gone back out to the right-hand side. Bournemouth themselves just a little bit strange with the way they set up initially, but they're back to a more conventional look now, and they've struggled to really deal with the Manchester United threat in the opening 18 minutes. Here is Heaven up towards Mount. Mount holds off the defender Smith well and then plays it across into Bruno Fernandes. A ripple of applause for Mason Mount's distribution as then Fernandes pushes the ball out towards Brian Mbeumo, who's 10 yards from the edge of the area, and he runs at the squat in towards the right channel, given to Ahmad, then back into Fernandes and then to Cunha! Edge of the area, trying to curl the ball into the far post, doesn't quite manage to get the whip on it to bring it back, but it was a good Manchester United move, slick and fast on the edge of the area, and right on the line of the 18-yard box. He turned and he tried to curl it into the far corner, but just didn't quite make it.
Well, wonderful football from Man U, from one end of the pitch to the other, fast passing the past and moved the ball so quickly, and they've got into the last third of Bournemouth's defence very, very easily. Wonderful football for Manchester.
1-0. The latest scoreline here at Old Trafford on a mild night, live on Talk Sport. And Manchester United lead, and boy do they want to make sure they get a big victory tonight, or just a victory tonight to keep things going. But here come Bournemouth down the right, and Jimenez trying to escape and keep it in by the byline, doesn't manage to find the pass with his attempt to keep it in, and Manchester United are going to escape again here because he's run through kindly for Cunha, who's got up to the halfway line at speed, fed it to Mount. There's space on this near side. Mount finds Fernandes and then on to Ahmad. Now down the right, Manchester United come at pace with Truffert in attendance for Ahmad. He comes back the way and gives it into Fernandes, and then he's back on the near touchline. He's being wrestled with by Truffert. He tried to hold him off. There were arms everywhere from both of them, but Manchester United get the free kick.
Yeah, silly free kick to give away, wasn't it, in a really dangerous area, and we know where this is coming in with the quality of Bruno and his delivery into the box, and they haven't defended them very, very well up to now. The crosses into the box from corners and the goal in particular. So there's big test for Bournemouth this particular moment.
Well, Manchester United have a free kick here, which will be taken on this near touchline by Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. He's got 5 to aim at. Remember, their set-piece delivery has been pretty impressive so far this season. They've scored the same number of set-piece goals as Arsenal. Here's Bruno Fernandes in towards the near post. There's a load of pushing and shoving going on. Alex Scott has ended up taking a tumble, and Bournemouth have been given a free kick.
Yeah, it looked pretty blatant and a silly one. Not the best of delivery from Bruno on this occasion, and a silly foul to give away, to be perfectly honest. Manchester
United had 6 shots in the opening 10 minutes of this game, which was the most in the Premier League game in the first 10 minutes since October 2022 against Tottenham Hotspur. They're already up to 8, and we've only played 21 minutes, and they're on the attack again now down the left with Mason Mount, who started brightly. Edge of the area is Cunha if they want to use him. Fernandes gets it instead. Now Ahmad, little back heel into Mbeumo. Mbeumo into the centre, doesn't quite connect with Cunha. The Manchester United are playing some terrific football here, Steve. The slick passing is opening and carving open the Bournemouth defence at will almost.
Yeah, they're struggling like mad with it, Bournemouth, and Man United are relentless in the way they're moving the ball.
Mbeumo coming forward, moving up towards the centre of the Bournemouth half. He gets the return from Mason Mount. A little delicate ball over the top. A good touch by Mbeumo to bring it down. He sets it back for Ahmad. It comes in towards Bruno Fernandes. It was a little bit too far in front of him. Tavernier got there, but Manchester United again win it back with Luke Shaw, who goes quickly to engage. He jumps to pressurise Kluivert. The ball spirals into the air. It's cleared away by Jimenez, but now picked up by Casemiro, who slides a lovely ball down the inside left channel. It almost reached Diogo Dalot. But this is some of the best football that Manchester United have played under Ruben Amorim.
Oh, it must be. They're all confident. You can see what they're doing. They're a real threat at the top end of the pitch. All of them are really, really comfortable in possession, and they're moving the ball so quickly. And your mate Mason Mount is having a wonderful start to the game.
Here is Tavernier, who's deep inside his own half, trying to wrestle with Fernandes and with Cunha, and he comes away with the ball. Fernandes, and he turns it over, and now Cunha is charging towards goal. He's down the left channel. He produces a shot, which is blocked by Diakite, and he goes out for a corner kick over the far side. They are harrying, they are harassing, they are putting pressure on the Bournemouth players every time they try to get out, and they are all over them like a rash.
They're terrific at the moment, and this fella Cunha has just got that natural ability what gets you on the edge of your seat, hasn't he? As soon as he gets it, he seems to just glide with the ball past people. Wonderful, wonderful footballer.
Well, they had 3 of them in attendance there to try and stop him. Andoni Iraola is furiously scribbling on his notepad. I think he's just written the word help. Here is
United are like this. You need more than help.
Here is the corner over on the far side, to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. Cunha underneath the goalkeeper. Shaw is in there as well. It's in towards Casemiro, wins the first header. Dalot keeps it alive. Truffert goes in with a bit of a push, and there was a shove from Casemiro that was penalised before that, and Simon Hooper gives Bournemouth a free kick, and they'll be delighted to have just a couple of seconds to breathe in some night air, because so far it's been exhausting to be a Bournemouth defender.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes has been absolutely terrific from Manchester, and somehow Bournemouth need to just take the sting out of it, take part in the game a little bit. As I said before, it's so easy for Manchester to get into the last third of Bournemouth's goal here. The forward play and the way they've moved the ball has been terrific to watch.
And there was a collision inside the penalty area where Alex Scott led with his arm and connected with the side of Casemiro's head. The referee didn't see it. We'd had a quick look at it on the replay, but the VAR didn't intervene. Here's Cunha picking it up again. They can't get out, Bournemouth. They had a clearance, and it's come straight back with Ahmad now feeding Casemiro 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area in towards Mbeumo. Wasn't a great ball into him. They've lost it now, United, but very quickly Mason Mount has won it back again, and he sent it out towards the right side. Ahmad now approaching the edge of the penalty area. His left-footed shot was a difficult one because there was not really the gap to squeeze that through, and he ended up hitting the first defender, and the ball is cleared by Bournemouth towards halfway. Of course, United have won it back again. Fernandes this time recovering possession. Now Heaven wanders past 2 challenges and then runs into a third, wants a free kick. He's not going to get it. The ball's been released to the far side by Casemiro, and now Dalot is bearing down towards the edge of the penalty area. He goes on the outside, feeds it into Mbeumo inside the penalty area. Great strength, produces a strop, and it's saved down low to his left by Petrovic. And Manchester United are irrepressible.
Yeah, wonderful to watch. We keep saying how good they are at the moment. Let's hope they can get the second goal to really, really make sure of their advantage.
Well, the ball is on the halfway line, and just a minute ago, I don't know if you saw it, but there were 2 balls on the pitch. I just wondered whether or not that Bournemouth were trying to get one to play with because Manchester United were using the other one.
Not a bad ploy, that, is it? Let's get another ball on. We can try and have one of our own.
26 gone. This is TalkSport. It's Truffert just inside the opponent's half of the field, and Manchester United with that little tweak of formation, not a change, a tweak.
He's never going to admit it to the manager, is he? He's no chance.
Well, we've looked at the average positions. It still looks a little bit like a 3, but there's definitely more of a hybrid. If you look at Ahmad's position, is so much higher than Dalot's on average, as you were saying, Steve Bruce.
Yeah, it was always going to be coming into the game was Semenyo, and how is Ahmad going to deal with it, and that's the way they've gone with it.
Truffert gets it back to his goalkeeper. Bournemouth have possession inside their own half. They're just so much fitter and sharper, Manchester United, in the opening 26 minutes. What they really need to make sure they do is they don't let Bournemouth off the hook here. They've had such supremacy in the opening quarter of the game that they must make it pay. They do lead by a goal to nil, but they would love another one before half-time. Ball won by Scott in midfield. It was a bit of a hefty collision with Fernandez, and the game is stopped whilst they just check on the prognosis of Bruno Fernandes. I think they might give an uncontested drop ball here to Manchester United, because I don't think he was giving a foul, the referee.
Quite interesting now. It looks as if Areola's put Semenyo on the other side.
Yes.
On the other side to go and play down the right-hand side and see how they do. And we'll see what they do with them there.
Manny Fernandez with a header has put Rangers in front against Hibs. Rangers leading by a goal to nil. That's a sort of battle for third and fourth, isn't it? Rangers and Hibs. Danny Roll hoping that his Ibrox career takes off a little bit better than Wilfried Nance's career has down the road at Parkhead. Up to Mount, the ball goes. He feels he was wrestled to the ground by Smith. The referee says no, and Semenyo has gone down the right and taken the ball in towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. He cuts in his left foot. Casemiro doesn't make a challenge. It goes across towards the edge of the box now and Tavernier, and Bournemouth still in possession on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. 28 gone. 1-0 to Manchester United, live on TalkSport on the Monday Night Football. Under the lights here at Old Trafford. It's back out towards Tavernier, whose swirling cross is headed away by Aidan Heaven. And it goes up to halfway, where it's met and dispatched by Bafode Diakite. It's coming face to face with Lenny Yoro, a former teammate at Lille tonight. Ball into the box, a decent one towards Tavernier, and he makes a brilliant save, Lomans. It's a lovely ball in by Kluivert, met on the edge of the 6-yard box with real venom by Tavernier. It was straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react, and react he did.
And what a run from Tavernier to make sure that it was his. He burst into the box. Unbelievable pace on the ball in, and he's flew at it, and it's come off his head, and it's gone straight at the goalkeeper, thankfully.
Well, that's a warning for Manchester United. That's a brilliant ball in from Kluivert, and it was a really firm header by Tavernier. It was actually to the goalkeeper's right just a little bit. He had to adjust slightly. He made a good save, but he's fortunate it came back off the Bournemouth player and went straight out of play.
He was brave, Tavernier, to get in there. There's only one thought in his mind, was to make sure they got some contact on it. And he's a bit unfortunate, has none in the net.
Well, Bournemouth's recent poor results, I think, can largely be attributed to a failure to take the chances that have come their way, and probably giving up more than usual. They've given up more than usual, and the chance that they've had, the big chance that they haven't taken. It remains 1-0 to Manchester United. Here is Truffert, managing to send the ball forward, and comes off of Lenny Yoro and goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Truffert will take it again. Out comes Andoni Iraola to have a quick word with his troops. Standing on the edge of the technical area, hands behind his back. Fouled by Ahmad. And Evan Nilsson gets the free kick about 9-10 yards short of the halfway line, wide on the Bournemouth left. I mean, it's been a good start from Manchester United, but I think with the amount of chances they've created, they probably want a greater advantage than they've got.
Yeah, it's vitally important to get that second one and make it count, because we've just seen one bit of quality from Bournemouth, and all of a sudden they've got themselves a foothold in the game at last after 30 minutes.
Yes, that was a little bit of a warning to Manchester United. It's currently Manchester United 1, Bournemouth 0. For the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, and right now you can back Manchester United to win at 4-1 on, and the draw is 19-4, and you can back Bournemouth at 9-1 to win the game. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, gambleaware.org. This is TalkSport. Played half an hour. Here's Senesi trying to pierce the lines with the ball forward towards Semenyo, and it comes back to Evan Nilsson, who shoots from the edge of the box, miscues it, goes behind, and it's away for a goal kick. Has had a little bit of a difference, hasn't it, for Bournemouth since changing things around up top and making Evan Nilsson and Semenyo almost like a narrow two with Kluivert in behind.
Yeah, it's made a little bit of a difference to them, hasn't it? They've got a little foothold in the game, which they needed to.
Because Jimenez has come out towards his near side as well.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just, I think they're set up that way when there's a goal kick, but I think they'll still keep Kluivert off the front of Evan Nilsson, would they? But they're certainly in the
There is Kluivert again, trying to get a shot away from the edge of the box, and that goes wide of the goal. But Manchester United again, just slightly regressive, just allowing the Bournemouth players to win the ball inside their half of the field. And the momentum just slightly swinging back the other way after a period of Manchester United domination.
Well, they're never going to dominate totally, and you're right what you're saying. Maybe they'll just rule that having got 2-0 in front, because certainly the first 25 minutes they probably deserved that, but certainly Bournemouth have got a foothold in the game at the moment.
Well, 53% of the ball has been inside the Manchester United defensive third in the last 5 minutes, which shows you how much Bournemouth have just grown into the game. But Manchester United got the chance to come forward here. The ball released out towards Ahmed on this near side. Senesi watched it, managed to take it before it got to him. It's still bouncing around inside the Bournemouth half of the field. It's headed out to Jimenez on this near touchline. Fernandes trying to keep pace with him, but it's taken over by Tavernier. That was a poor challenge by Lenny Yoro. That's going to be a free kick 7 yards inside Manchester United territory. Let's go off to the game at Hillsborough, because there's been a goal in the Championship for TalkSport's Alan Biggs.
Yeah, to Derby County, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Derby 1. Patrick Adjumang is the scorer. Terrible error from Liam Cooper, gave the ball away, dangerous area, but Adjumang's finish was lethal. Rifled it left foot across the keeper into the far corner. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Derby 1.
Derby without a win in 3 before tonight, and Patrick Adjumang did well in the MLS while he was at FC Charlotte, where Dean Smith is thriving at the moment. Ball on the edge of the penalty area. Semenyo loses out. Manchester United pick it up. Cunha's going to switch it out towards the near side. There's a chance of a Manchester United counter-attack, and they've turned defence into attack very rapidly. Ahmad carrying the ball into the penalty area, cuts it on his left foot, chance to drive, good block by Smith, and it was an absolutely vital intervention from the Bournemouth captain, who threw himself in front of Ahmad, who trickled his way up towards the edge of the penalty area, and he cut in on his left foot, and just as he was about to rifle home, Smith was there.
A great challenge from Smith, and he's been a threat. That ball out to the right hand side, and we've seen him now on numerous occasions trying to cut inside on his left foot. Great tackle by Smith, certainly saved a certain goal.
34 on the clock, TalkSport, and he's certainly, with Ahmad sort of getting further forward up on this near side, they do commit a lot of bodies forward. When they're in the attack, you've got Dallo coming up on one side, Ahmad on this side, Mount, Cunha and Mbeumo. They are very difficult to contain, Manchester United.
When they're playing as well as they are doing, they are a threat going forward, aren't they? I agree with you.
Well, the recent statistics tell you that. We looked at that table, didn't we? You know, they've got the most goals in the average goals per 90 in the Premier League over the last 6 games. And
you can certainly see why. They're a big threat. They're all playing well at the top end of the pitch. And then, of course, you've got Bruno in behind them too. So, really, they are a big threat at the moment.
It's amazing in how it's changed as well, because they've gone from bottom, or joint bottom of the Premier League for goals per game, XG, performance and shot conversion, to one of the top teams for both creating and taking chances.
These two up the top.
Mbeumo coming forward, looking to feed the ball into Cunha. Cunha's trying to get it ahead of Diakite. He succeeds, looks to reverse it. It's blocked by Diakite. Can't find its way through to Mbeumo, but picked up right side by Ahmad. Ahmad hesitates, waits, rolls it back to Lenny Yoro. Yoro infield to Bruno Fernandes. Back to Yoro again. Right side of the pitch now is Ahmad attacking down the flank. He's got Diakite for company. He goes back infield to Yoro, who then switches it into the centre circle, and now Luke Shaw has the chance to decide which angle of attack Manchester United want to take next. Heaven, lovely ball into Cunha, good turn by him, rolls it under his studs, gets into the front foot, then produces across, in towards it, Mbeumo, who volleys it just narrowly over the top. What a connection that was. Cunha with a brilliant flighted ball which arcs so supremely right into the path of Brian Mbeumo. And he fired it towards goal, and it was only narrowly over the top.
Yeah, wonderful turn to start with, wasn't it? He made that look so easy. Great turn and piece of individual skill, and then the quality of the cross into the box, looking for his mate Mbeumo, who will be disappointed that he hasn't scored probably, but a great piece of football.
Well, what a fantastic bit of football from Manchester United, and we've said that several times tonight. They've played very, very well in the first half here. Here is Brian Mbeumo under pressure from Diakite, pulled to the ground, free kick to Manchester United. By the way, if you want to listen to any of the plethora of great podcasts that are available on the TalkSport app, download the app. You can listen to any of the live games, you can listen to the darts, which is on tonight over on TalkSport 2. You've got all the Premier League podcasts, all the podcast about, and Adrian's got a very good podcast that he does now, the Sportsbook podcast. So if you, and especially good at this time of year actually, if you're thinking of buying someone a present, he reviews all the best sports books. Well worth a download. It's on the TalkSport app. And Manchester United here so far in front thanks to a goal scored by Amad Diallo. Here is Kluivert though on the turn inside the penalty area, fed by Evan Nilsson. Good defending by Manchester United. Dalot did brilliantly actually covering in from the right fullback position, coming into the centre and following his man to ensure that there was enough pressure on him so that Lomans could come and collect.
Yeah, a really good piece of defending from Dalot. He's just done enough, put his body in the way that he made sure there was no way through for him. They're still a threat on the counter-attack though, aren't they?
Yep.
They've got pace at the top end of the pitch.
They were always going to be. They are a team that do that. They just haven't converted the chances that they've created in recent weeks, and they've conceded far too many at the other end. Here is Cunha, and certainly that's been similar tonight. Well, he's just dragged that out towards the far side, far too wide. He's pushed it out to the flank, and Mason Mount has gone chasing for it. He's picked it up and run at Smith again. He's given Smith a bit of a torrid time tonight actually. Into Cunha trying to turn now. We're approaching 38 minutes of the game. Tripped over the top by Casemiro into Mbeumo. Mbeumo down the left side of the box, gives it back to Cunha. Cunha then feeds it into Mount, back round the corner towards Cunha, then back to Mount again on the edge of the area, and the clearance by Smith hits him, and then the clearance by Semenyo is so poor it comes to Lenny Yoro on this near side, and Manchester United will come back in again. Cross from Yoro, headed away by Senesi, picked up by Evan Nilsson, and now Bournemouth will try to get out after another period where they've been on the back foot. Manchester United 1, Bournemouth 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Foul by Luke Shaw. I mean, how would you sum up this first 38 minutes? I mean, are we going over the top, or is this the best you've seen Manchester United play under Ruben Amorim?
Well, it's certainly the best I've seen them live anyway. I've seen glimpses at Wolves the other night there, and but today is certainly the threat of the two up the top end of the pitch, and Mbeumo and Cunha and Mason Mount have caused them all sorts of problems.
And what they have to do is make sure that they remain secure at the back, because it's 8 games without a Premier League clean sheet now. They've won it back through Cunha, and he's reversed it in through the centre circle to find Fernandes. He's put it down the left towards Casemiro's inside the penalty. His left-footed drive towards the near post is wide of goal. Well, he was looking up to see if anybody was attacking the middle of the penalty area. They were a bit behind him, and I don't know whether or not he felt that the angle was there for the pass, so he went for the shot, and he miscued.
Yeah, I think he was looking for the pass, and I don't think there was anybody making a run across the goal. How many times have we seen United break from and be in this situation here now, when they get into a great area? Don't think there was enough in the box to pick him out. Yep. Poor decision from him in the end.
1-0. Bournemouth give the ball away so much from their sort of the restarts and resets. Here is Semenyo down the right side though, getting in behind the United defence. He powers into the box. His right-footed shot comes in off the post, and they have equalised against the run of play. Bournemouth score the equaliser, and it's Antoine Semenyo, who hasn't scored since October. He's just smashed the ball in off the post, past the goalkeeper, and Bournemouth's threat on the counter-attack has proved to be decisive just before half-time, and Manchester United have conceded again, and from a position where they seem to be completely in command of this football match, it's now all square. 1-1.
Yeah, the boy Heaven probably, for me, without seeing it again, needed to come across quicker. He knew nobody was going to catch him, and can he get across? He's out of position at the moment. Can he go across and defend? Yeah, he's got to go, and he can't just let him run into the box like that. He's got to engage him. He's got to engage him and make sure he does a little bit more.
It starts with Mount giving the ball to Shaw, and Shaw not dealing with the pass. Semenyo escapes down the right-hand side, but you're absolutely right. Aidan Heaven is defending the middle of the box, but actually Mount's calling him over, saying you've got to come over, and he sticks in the middle, and that gives Semenyo the opportunity to get the shot away. Fernandes is flailing to get back, but he squeezed it in off the post, and Manchester United have pegged back. It's 1-1 with 5 minutes to go before the break.
Yeah, it just shows you what a crazy game this football is. We're just saying of how well Man United have done. Little break, but we've said for the last 10-15 minutes they're a threat on the break with the pace they've got at the top end of the pitch.
Bruno Fernandes furious. Manchester United now at 1-1. Cunha's just looked for Mbeumo again, and it's gone out because it was hit too fast into his path for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. I'd be absolutely furious if you're a manager, wouldn't you? If you're Ruben Amorim, you sit there, you watch your team play as well as they did. They only lead by a goal to nil. He's pegged back now to 1-1. He'll be absolutely furious. How do you do it?
That's his time here, isn't it? You've seen glimpses of arguably how well they've played, and all of a sudden they're going to go in at one each, where really they should have been well in front at the moment.
We did say they have to tighten up at the back. 9 games now without keeping a Premier League clean sheet. They've kept one all season. That was against Sunderland.
Yeah, and all good teams have got to be that resilient to keep a clean sheet. It's all.
Oh, what's happened there? There's a bit of a melee over on the far side, and Semenyo is involved in that. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Aidan Heaven, Bruno Fernandes now having a word with the referee. The referee wants to have a word. Was there an arm there? The crowd at Old Trafford asking for a red card. The referee sending Adam Smith and Bruno Fernandes away. He wants to have a word with Antoine Semenyo. And after scoring the goal, he's going to find himself in a spot of bother here. And Simon Hooper has just addressed the concerns of Diogo Dalot and Antoine Semenyo. He wants to speak to both of them on the halfway line. He's speaking to Dalot first and then Semenyo, and the referee's got a decision to make. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's a yellow card for Diogo Dalot, and it's a yellow card for Antoine Semenyo, one apiece.
Yeah, it seems a lot to do about nothing, doesn't it? They've got themselves all in the mess. I didn't see anything wrong with the challenge he got underneath the ball. These things happen, don't they? He's got straight up and big powerful lad, isn't he? Wow. Well, has he hit him there?
Well, he's caught him on the neck. So basically what's happened here, they've gone up for a high ball and he's got up really high, Semenyo, and Dalot has gone underneath him and he's gone careering up into the air and crashed to the floor. Semenyo's then got up and confronted Dalot and he's pulled out a left arm and grabbed him round the neck. Now, I think because he's on the neck and not above the neck.
No, he's okay, and it's a yellow card.
It's a yellow card.
As long as he's okay, he's jumped up all right. He's obviously disappointed that he's levered his back in a way that he's going to fall a bit awkwardly.
Here's the free kick into the box, and Essie heads it down. It comes to Scott, who rifles it. Might come into the path of Emma Nielsen here. Dalot reacts quickly and manages to clear his lines from inside the 6-yard box. I mean, it would be the ultimate Manchester United irony now if they went in at half-time 2-1 down after dominating the first 35 minutes of this game. Here is Trufer down the left into Senesi. Senesi back in field to Jimenez, who's challenged by Shaw, who is guilty of giving away possession for that goal. It's in by the shot of Tavernier, and Lomans has to come across and make a save after a big deflection and put it out for a corner.
Yeah, there's an edginess about Man U's defending, isn't there? They look a little bit nervy and a little bit edgy, probably because they haven't been able to keep a clean sheet for 8-9 games. You can see as soon as Bournemouth get into that last third, there's an edginess since they've scored the goal.
Here is the corner right at the end of the first half. We played nearly 45 minutes. We're just waiting to see how many are going to be added by the fourth official, Rob Jones, who raises his ball to the sky now and says 5 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here at Old Trafford. The Manchester United led and now have been played back. It's 1-1 on Talk Sport. Here is the corner, left-footed in towards the near post, headed away by Bruno Fernandes. It comes back out to the edge of the area. It's touched away by Kluivert. And then forward by Smith towards the edge of the area, and Heaven manages to get it clear. Cunha brings it down, a little shift over the top and then a flick out towards Mbeumo. The bouncing ball, he heads against Smith and it goes out for a throw-in on halfway for Manchester United. What do you say if you're a manager of Manchester United at half-time?
Well, you want to see a lot more of what we've just witnessed in the first half, but we've got to try and get the balance right with defending and attacking, because unfortunately Bournemouth have had one or two incidents which has been a little bit too easy for me. They're still a little bit edgy, Man U.
Here is Heaven into Casemiro, who's dropped into a deeper position in the last few moments. Dalot forward looking to Shaw, who's gone on and he's gone out towards the left hand side, and he needs to make sure he picks up a pass. So he's slipped inside Senesi, he's played it infield, didn't quite find Cunha, has come back out to Mbeumo, who's going to get some opportunity on the edge of the area here. He runs into Scott and the ball runs clear towards the left. Now Mount picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box. He swings it back into the centre, looking for Mbeumo, headed away by Senesi. Ahmad goes up for a challenge, it bounces inside the Bournemouth box and Senesi brings it down and plays it into Scott, and they should get it away here from the right full-back position via Adam Smith. He's going to come back though because he's gone straight to Dalot, into Bruno Fernandes. Now Casemiro back out wide towards the left. Oh, there's a free kick here, And that's because Justin Kluivert has gone in hard over on the far side on Bruno Fernandes after the ball had gone. That's a free kick wide on the Manchester United left. A good 10 steps back from the edge of the penalty area, Steve.
He had one of these ideal situations for the ball to come in. We know what's coming from Bruno. I'm sure he'll be aiming for the far post, and can Man U get a head on it? And can Bournemouth defend the crosses better, because they've looked a little bit unsure of themselves too defensively.
47 on the clock. We played 2 of the 5 added minutes at the end of the first half live on TalkSport. Manchester United, who dominated the opening 35 minutes of the game, several shots on goal, caused Bournemouth all sorts of grief, but then after taking the lead ended up finding themselves all square after giving the ball away in the left full-back position. Luke Shaw and Mason Mount getting in a bit of a tangle. Here is Fernandes with the free kick though on the stroke of half-time. A right-footed in-swinger towards the edge of the box. It's picked on by Casemiro. It's definitely hit a Bournemouth player and went behind and out for a corner kick. And they would have thought there that was going to go and nestle into the box, because Casemiro made a good run and got a good header on, but Senesi managed to shepherd it behind and out for a corner kick.
Yeah, both sides are struggling to defend from crosses into the box. Another corner from Bruno.
Just wonder, there was a shout for handball. I'm not sure that there was anything in. Oh, I'm not sure, you know. Here is the corner, deep towards the far post. Casemiro is free. He heads it down and it's into the net. And Manchester United take advantage of another set piece. They are the top scorers from set pieces this season in the Premier League, joint with Arsenal. But Bournemouth's defending once again left something to be desired. Jordan Petrovic shakes his head because he knows that Bournemouth have gifted that goal to Manchester United. Arcing delivery from Fernandes to the far post. Casemiro was lurking. Nobody in blue spotted him, and he nodded it simply down at the foot of the post. It comes off the goalkeeper and sneaks in, and Manchester United will take a half-time lead.
Well, thoroughly deserved, so we think so. But how often have we seen from Bournemouth, you know, the inability to defend the corner? They haven't got anybody really attacking to the core. I think the goalkeeper maybe will look at it and maybe can he do better. I'm not saying come for the cross, but he seems to push it into the net. He'll be disappointed on his way home tonight, that's for sure.
Well, they should all be disappointed, because Casemiro was quite obviously the target there. He got away from Truffert and got a free header almost in towards the near post, and then Petrovic, instead of swatting it away, has shoveled it. He's actually completely missed it, I think, and it's come off the top of his shoulder and into the net.
Do you know, it is a dying art for art of an ability to head the ball. There's no natural headers in the ball anymore, it seems.
Well, he's pretty good at it, Casemiro, because that's his 4th goal of the season. And Manchester United are now back on top in the game. They lead by 2-1. Semenyo going to take the throw in from the far side. We've played our 5 minutes of added time. There will be a little bit more to add here. Ball tossed in towards the near post. Headed away by Diogo Dalot. Back in to the path of Semenyo left side. Tavernier joining now. His left-footed cross is into the box, aimed towards Kluivert. Flicked away by Bruno Fernandes in the left wing position. Truffert volleys the ball back into the congested penalty area. Headed away by Mount. Scott in the dead centre of midfield plays it back to Senesi. Down the left it goes into the path of Jimenez, who has his back to goal, tries to turn it into Truffert, whose low ball takes a deflection, and it's into the arms of Sena Lomans, and that should be the end of the first 45 minutes. The 45 minutes which Manchester United supporters very much enjoyed.
Well, you can tell by the stadium.
You can hear what they think of it. A terrific first 45 minutes, largely for Manchester United. The one slip-up cost them a goal, but they've been on the front foot. They've been on the attack. This is what they come to see here. That sort of football. And Manchester United, who are hoping to avoid losing to Bournemouth at home, becoming a bit of a Christmas tradition, have certainly gone the right way about their business tonight. Half-time, they lead by 2-1. St. Gian, yes, it's just about got underway. Manchester United shooting towards the Stretford end in the second half in red shirts, white shorts and black socks. And all blue for Bournemouth tonight, attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. And there's no changes at half-time either. Manchester United have only lost one of their last 9 games. They've scored now 21 goals so far in 9.5 matches. and they are on top here. How do they ensure that they leave with all 3 points? Well, we'll get to Steve Bruce in just a second, because Evan Nilsson is racing through and he's sending the ball into the bottom corner just seconds into the second half. 40 seconds on the clock at the start of the second 45, and Evan Nilsson, who has been going through a goal drought, has come to Old Trafford and found the back of the net. Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 2. Old Trafford is stunned. They have a player on the floor here, Diogo Dalot, down in front of us, who was injured just prior to that goal going in. But it is the worst possible start to the second half, Steve Bruce, for Ruben Amorim and for Manchester United.
Well, it's the worst possible start for you after such a blistering first half start. I don't know how Diallo's lying on the floor here. I don't think he had anything to do with the goal, or he's run into somebody. But yeah, it's a pass from Shaw. They've turned round. I think the centre back will be really disappointed that he's got in between the two of them. I have to say, it's a wonderful finish with arguably his weaker foot on his left hand side. He's picked his spot, and again punished Man United for really poor at the heart of the defence.
Well, it's only his second goal of the season, but it was poor defending from Manchester United, whose back line there looked a little bit ragged, Steve. They were not together.
I think it was Shaw who's played a long pass up to the front. They didn't get a hold of it, broke into midfield, and they played the pass in between the two of them rather than one of them do his job. It's gone between the two of them, and he's stuck it away, I have to say, clinically.
He has, bearing in mind that he'd scored one goal from his previous 29 shots. That was a particularly accurate finish from the Brazilian Evan Nilsson, and it gives Bournemouth encouragement at the start of the second 45. It's Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 2, and that stunned Old Trafford straight after the break. And Luke Shaw actually guilty of 2 mistakes in the build-ups to both goals, and I'm sure he'll be a little bit frustrated with that, but not as frustrated as the manager, who has seen his team get in front, concede a goal, get in front again, and then immediately concede after half-time. It must be so frustrating for Amorim.
We've said how good they are going forward, but there's always been an edginess about them defensively, and this is the system maybe ways the centre forwards got in between the two centre backs and looks as if they're giving an awful free kick away. A poor place for Manchester.
Yeah, well, Lenny Yoro the guilty party this time. Evan Nilsson, by the way, scoring his first goal since August. It's a big boost for him. I think it was Fernandes who gave the foul away, but he's furious with Lenny Yoro for the pass that he played into him. Absolutely furious. 38 seconds into the second half, Manchester United peg back once again. It's 2-2. You're listening to Talk Sport. United's problems often materialise after the break. They've scored the second most first half goals this season, but only 5 teams have conceded more Premier League goals in the second half of matches, and that must be of concern to Amorim. Here's the free kick into the near post, headed away by Casemiro, and it's sent forward towards the centre circle. Smith returns it with interest. It comes back down the left side of the box, and it's headed away by Heaven. Into the air goes Truffert, threw himself at the ball high up into the night sky, and then nodded on by Mount into the path of Cunha, and it's cleared back the way, and it'll be retrieved by Lenny Yoro under pressure from Evan Nilsson. He hooks it over his shoulder towards the halfway line, chested down by the Argentine Senesi, headed further clear by Fernandes, and it goes up towards Mbeumo, who now will try and drag Manchester United up the pitch. He gets over the halfway line. He's got 5 for company, all in blue shirts. They need to find a red one. Cunha does that by getting it out to Dalot. It was squeezed a little bit behind him. Dalot comes back into centre field, and Bruno Fernandes, whose heavy touch gives the ball away, and now Tavernier is bursting through again, and he's got Evan Nilsson and Kluivert for company this time, and he's still going. He goes down eventually from Casemiro. That's going to be a yellow card for Casemiro right on the edge of the D. Well, he had to bring him down in the end, because he was just wandering through the whole of the back line. He travelled so far with the ball at his feet. Must have been 40 yards, Steve.
Yeah, and I've seen Shaw hurtling up the pitch as well to try and get near Diego Dalot. They've given the ball away, and then they've got to try and recover. And in the middle of the pitch, they're not going to catch Tavernier, and they don't until the last 18-yard box or so. And he made a blatant foul. It's a blatant yellow card in a really dangerous situation. Now Bournemouth are in with a free kick just on the edge of the D.
Well, it's 2-2. Manchester United took the lead Then Semenyo scored 5 minutes before the break. Casemiro on the stroke of half-time. And then straight from the restart, Evan Nilsson managed to score for the visitors, Bournemouth. Ruben Amorim looking pensive on the near touchline. And they've been missing that from Evan Nilsson, that clinical finish from the edge of the box. He'll be delighted to have the goal. They've got another opportunity here to get on the score sheet, Bournemouth. They have a free kick a yard back from the edge of the D. They've got Adam Smith in attendance here. And it's Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 2. Senna Lomans lining up the wall, juggling around on the edge of his goal line. Kluivert and Tavernier standing over it. It's going to be Tavernier who strikes it, left-footed, through the wall, into the corner, and Bournemouth have turned it around, and they lead! Tavernier with the goal. It's a brilliant strike that goes through the wall and into the far corner. It beats Senna Lomans, and from 1-0 down and 2-1 down, Bournemouth are now 3-2 up at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper's got caught, hasn't he? He's thinking about going over the wall, and as soon as he takes a step to go that way, Tavernier's put it in his side. You can't really do that for a goalkeeper. You must protect your side and let the wall do the job. If he gets it over the wall and into the back of the net, then okay. But to go on your side, unfortunately, big, huge mistake from the goalkeeper.
Well, Manchester United have got themselves in front twice, and now they find themselves behind, and they've only got themselves to blame. It's individual errors that have cost them. Shaw twice, and now Senna Lomans not covering the far post. He went down too slowly.
He stepped across. I think it's that classic one. Once a goalkeeper puts his weight there, he hasn't trusted his wall. He thought the ball was going to go over the wall. Hasn't done. It's gone in his side. He'd be really disappointed when he sees it back.
Oh, Manchester United now have got some serious work to do. What was it last week against Wolverhampton Wanderers? First half, not so good. Second half, very good. First half, very good this week. Second half, it's been abysmal 7 minutes so far for Manchester United. They've gone from 2-1 up to 3-2 down in the space of 7 minutes of the second half. How on earth does that happen, Steve Bruce?
I really don't know, but I would love to know how many. Bournemouth have now scored 3 times at Old Trafford in the last 3 years, haven't they? Something like that. Quite
always
incredible.
In December.
Wow.
I told you it's becoming a Christmas tradition. Here is Smith into Diakite. I'll go through the two lineups in just a second. We're supposed to reset those after half-time, but we haven't had a chance because both these two teams have been gifting us incident after incident. United have got Lomans in goal, Yoro, Heaven and Shaw, Ahmad and Dallo as the wing-backs, Casemiro and Fernandes in the centre, and Burmo, Cunha and Mount up top. They have been swinging round into a 4 when they're defending, and they are building up in a 3. It's a slight tweak to the formation, but not a complete change.
And I have to say, putting Semenyo over the other side has got Man United thinking about, because it's gone against their game plan really. They had Yoro up against Semenyo on the other side. He's now switched wings and give them a big problem.
And that was the setup that Manchester United were going for, looking to try and contain Semenyo. He then switched to the other side, and Manchester United haven't had the answer to that. 3-2 the score in Bournemouth's favour, and Senna Lomans, who's had a very good start to his Manchester United career, has I think made a little mistake here, which has cost them dear. He just jumped into the air at the wrong time, didn't he? And he went down to his right and couldn't quite reach it. Goes over his arm and into the net. Was there a little deflection there? I'm not sure there was actually. Goes all the way clean through. And Manchester United now find themselves behind here at Old Trafford. Ball cleared by the United defence. Fernandes heads it forward and Burmo goes on the chase. Senesi gets it back. Manchester United find themselves once again playing a goal fest with Bournemouth. Bournemouth love a goal fest, don't they? They score a load of goals, don't always win the game, and Manchester United, we're hoping that tradition continues. Let's go off to Hillsborough. There's been another goal in the Championship for Alan Biggs. We'll get there in just a second. A quick free kick taken by Fernandes. They pulled it back. The referee says the ball was rolling. Let's go off to Alan Biggs and get details of that goal. Alan.
Yeah, another for Derby. Sheffield Wednesday 0. Derby 2. Liam Thompson somehow threaded and bobbled a shot through a crowded penalty area after a free kick wasn't cleared by the home team. Derby have doubled their lead. Sheffield Wednesday 0. Derby 2.
part of an Edinburgh double for Rangers, who lead by a goal to nil against Hibs. They got Hearts at the weekend. They've got 29 points from 16 games. If it stays like this, it'll only be 3 points behind Celtic, who do have a game in hand. Here is Amad Diallo into Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes trying to get to the edge of the penalty area, producing a cross. He doesn't get the kind of whip on it that he wanted. He got right underneath it and he sends it into the strip, but then it goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. How different the mood is now. Do you remember at half-time?
Incredible, isn't it? Quite incredible over 5-6 minutes. Adrian did say, do you think there's going to be more goals in this in the second half? And we did say, oh, definitely. I didn't expect to be two. For Bournemouth to score twice in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, whatever it is. Quite remarkable turnaround.
And you were a little surprised about Manchester United's lack of ability to deal with those balls into the box tonight. You know, obviously no Maguire, no De Ligt, both injured at the moment. That's a real problem.
I know the two centre-backs are young and they're going to be very, very good players when they get a bit older. Being centre-back is all about concentration, not doing anything rash. Make sure your concentration is really, really high level. They got caught with the second goal. The boy got in between the two of them. The third goal is they give the ball away in the middle of the pitch, couldn't recover, give a bad free kick away in a dangerous situation. Goalkeeper's got himself mixed up too.
Yeah, and you and I were talking at half-time when we were in the press room about Aidan Heaven not going to engage for the first goal as well, when he could have come out of his slot.
He could have come out of his slot a little bit better. And look, they're young centre-backs, you know, and all of a sudden now he's cleared one up the pitch and the crowd are a little bit edgy. It'll do them the world of good, and it's a big learning experience for them. But really it's all about that concentration levels, and they're going to be tested to the limit at the moment now. Much better second half from Bournemouth, who have played in a more aggressive and controlled manner in this second 45, and credit has to go to Andoni Iraola for that tactical switch in the first half, which did turn the tide actually when Semenyo come out towards this near side. 58 on the clock, Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 0. Bournemouth in possession on the halfway line. Bournemouth have thrown away points, most notoriously at Sunderland and Palace, from winning positions, so there's every chance that Manchester United will get encouragement later in the game. It's 3-2 in Bournemouth's favour, and in the second half Manchester United have had no shots at all and created no chances whatsoever, because it's just been all one-way traffic. Well, they need to have a little bit of control possession of the ball first. They need to recover as best they can and make sure they're more concentrated on what they are at the moment.
Here is Lenny Yoro striving forward, the ball over the halfway line. It's picked up by Amad, who looks to go down the outside of Jimenez. He gets to the bar line, produces a cross into the box. It's overhit and it goes all the way out the other side, and Mason Mount is chasing it. He's not going to be able to keep it in, but he went all the way to the perimeter of the playing surface, and the ball just runs out of play and goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the 18-yard box. 2-3 in Bournemouth's favour, just coming up to the hour mark. Bournemouth statistically have got one of the hardest runs over Christmas and the New Year period, so they'll be desperate to pick up some points. They face 4 of the Premier League's top 8, whilst also travelling to Brentford, who have one of the best home records. They host Spurs as well, who have one of the best away records statistically, well, until yesterday. Shaw wins it back inside his own half, turns it infield towards Lenny Yoro. The Old Trafford crowd want them on the front foot again, as they were for large parts of the first half. Yoro gets it back again on the halfway line. Heaven takes over. It's infield towards Bruno Fernandes, who in the centre circle doesn't really see a route out because Scott was pressurising him so well, and then the ball is given away by Cunha as they play it forward, and well, before Kluivert can get into his stride, Heaven has won it back. Now Manchester United knitting some passes together, getting to the halfway line. Dallo didn't play it first time into Mount, and they didn't like that, the Old Trafford crowd. It has been switched by Mbeumo, out towards Amad, back to Mbeumo, edge of the area, pokes it to Fernandes, slipped over the top. Amad allows it to come down, goes across his body. Here comes Casemiro. It's chaos inside the penalty area, and eventually Diakite will clear it up towards the halfway line, and Semenyo will try to wriggle free. Well won by Shaw, who turns it over once again. He powers forward down the left-hand side. It comes to Dallo, back to Shaw, chance to cross. He chips it towards the far post. It was inaccurate, he didn't find a red shirt, and it was headed clear by Bournemouth's Jimenez. And then there was a foul given away against Amad after pressure on the far side on Kluivert. Let's go off to Alan Biggs at Sheffield Wednesday, another goal.
Yeah, the Rams are rampant. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Derby County 3. It's a second for Patrick Adjaman. Good work down the left from Rian Brewster. Very strong, got the cross in, and it fell to Adjaman. Couldn't miss. Second of the game. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Derby 3.
Can you hear that? That is a standing ovation across the whole of Old Trafford. Not for someone who's done anything over the last 60 minutes, but because of the introduction of Kobbie Mainoo. A favoured son of the Stretford end comes in to replace Casemiro for the final half hour. Steve Bruce.
Well, the one thing he will be able to do is give a bit of legs in the middle of the pitch, because I have to say Bournemouth at the moment are really rampaging through the middle of Man U. They keep giving the ball away, so he'll give a little bit of athleticism to the middle of the pitch, which they need to do. I have to say Bournemouth all over the pitch, especially the front four, are really great ability to run with it, are very quick and powerful, and so is the two midfield players.
Well, this is interesting because we've got a delay in play here whilst Jordan Petrovic ends up getting some treatment away to our left-hand side. The hack rather unkindly said he was Jordan petrified from that Casemiro header.
He certainly was. When he looks back and you think, what the hell have I been doing there?
Well, it's Manchester United who've had scary moments at the start of the second half. Evan Nilsson with the first of, there's 2 goals in this second 45, and then Tavernier's free kick which beats Senna Lomans down low to his right hand side, and Manchester United have gone from winning this game to losing this game in the blink of an eye. Well, the Cherries' only away win so far this season came at Spurs. On that day their goalkeeper got through a lot of work. He might have a lot to do in the latter stages of this game, because Manchester United will be urged to go on the front foot, especially with this Old Trafford backing. Mainoo on as they look to try and wrestle control back of this match, which has ebbed and flowed throughout the evening. Started with Manchester United on top. Bournemouth got back into it just before half-time. Manchester United stole the lead back, and then straight away after the break, Bournemouth have been in complete control for the last 15 minutes. Here is Amad Diallo on the halfway line, trying to nudge the ball away from Jimenez. Goes back to Aidan Heaven, who's deep inside his own half. As one of the 3 central defenders, he flies it out towards the near touchline. Diallo picks it up, plays it infield to Fernandes. A first-time pass to Mount, and then back into Cunha. Cunha back to Fernandes, back to Cunha again. Good touch by him. He's got Diallo down his left, but he turns and runs at the Bournemouth defence, gets into the edge of the penalty area, comes through to Mount on the edge of the box, and then in Burmo, whose strike takes a little deflection. He didn't get any power in it anyway, and it bobbles up into the arms of Petrovic. But that's the kind of football that they were playing in the first half.
Yeah, a little bit more like it, wasn't it? That little link-up play between Bruno and Mason Mount, and unfortunately it fell to Mbeumo and he didn't really strike it well enough.
They're going to miss Mbeumo when he goes off to the Africa Cup of Nations, and Ahmed too.
Well, they certainly will. He's a player, the kid, and yeah, they're going to certainly miss him.
Here on the left-hand side, Jimenez coming forward for Bournemouth, who try to get into the penalty area. Kobbie Mainoo wins it, and Manchester United escape despite the protests of the Bournemouth supporters who think that should have been a foul. Aidan Heaven has it on the edge of the D to the left, and the stocky Shaw, who starts to bring the ball up towards the halfway line. He's socked halfway down his legs. Bright orange boots on into Mount, back to Shaw once again, who pokes it centrally, and now Aidan Heaven starts to move forward towards the edge of the centre circle, his braids dangling as he moves up towards halfway. Yoro takes over, back out to the very slight and diminutive Amad Diallo. He pokes the ball into the right wing position for Fernandes, who gets the better of the defender, he gets the wrong side. Amad comes in and takes over after it runs loose, back to Mbeumo, edge of the area. He runs up to the edge of the box, he's encouraged to shoot, but there isn't really an option, so he goes wide to Diallo, who slips it down the side of the box into Mason Mount, who keeps it alive brilliantly, sends it through the 6-yard box, and there's no one there to finish it off. It's a brilliant cross, a really brilliant piece of play by Manchester United. A lovely ball into the area by Mason Mount. There should have been someone there to finish it.
Yeah, Adnan's got to be breaking his neck to get in at the far post. I know he's not going to be the biggest, but he could have another header at the far post.
Heaven back to Shaw. Manchester United just turning up the volume once again. Mainoo Striding forward with the ball just right of centre inside Bournemouth territory. It goes wide to Yoro and then back into Fernandez, who pokes the ball through the middle into Cunha around the corner for Mbeumo. Couldn't get hold of it. Semenyo's got it now, but he's given it away. Kobbie Mainoo's got it back again. Comes forward, pushes it forward into the path of Cunha. He gets to the edge of the box. He runs into the area. He's charging his way through, almost like a force of nature. It's cleared away by Senesi and out on the far side.
Just got to remember then of Mainoo, haven't we? Just that little bit of skill in the middle of the pitch, taking it away from two or three defenders.
Yeah, great bit of football from Kobbie Mainoo, just to keep Manchester United on the front foot. Bournemouth leading by 3-2 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Manchester United versus Bournemouth, live right now. Search Now Sports. It's a short ball by Kobbie Mainoo which didn't reach Mason Mount, and now it's been turned over and Bruno Fernandes has won it back again, and that's better for Manchester United. Dalot sends it left onto Mount. Mount now travels inside the Bournemouth half of the field, feeds the ball down the left side of the box for Cunha, who gets to the byline, sends it across the face of goal, and Petrovic almost pushed that into his own net. He ended up pushing it over the top, but I think he was caught in two minds. He didn't know whether that was going out or going in, and in the end he just sort of flapped at it, and it almost went behind him and into his own goal.
Well, he'll be looking at his Old Trafford display today and thinking, wow, I've got to come for a cross here, maybe from the corner, because 2 or 3 times he's come for stuff and got nowhere near it.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do there. It wasn't exactly the strongest palm that he got on the ball. Here's the corner, in towards the far post. He's missed that one too! And Manchester United can't turn it home. He went up for it, it completely evaded him, went through his arms, came in at the edge of the 6-yard box, and I think it bounced off a defender and back to him, and he was very fortunate that that happened.
Oh, he was very, very fortunate again, wasn't he? Anything in and around him at the moment, he's struggling to deal with it.
Well, if you're Manchester United, you just keep testing him, don't you?
Oh, they will do, because it's been their Achilles heel, has been the crosses in put into the box from either free kicks or corners. He's been very, very lucky there, hasn't he?
I mean, the foul's been given against Manchester United. I don't understand what for. I mean, heaven...
We see this week in and week out now. There's going to be physical contact, and it always has been, always will be, from a corner where people are going to bang into each other, and you've got to simply deal with it. And he's struggling at the moment with it.
Lisandro Martinez about to come on for Manchester United, as Amarim just gives a little bit of tactical instruction to 1 or 2 of the players. Looks like Benjamin Šeško's coming on as well here, as they need a goal. Back from food poisoning and an injury. United will be delighted to have him back and available and ready to come on here. So it's going to be Lisandro Martinez and Benjamin Šeško who come on. Let's see who's coming off for Manchester United. Let's have a look. I'm going to guess Lenny Yoro comes off Martinez. Another change of centre back. I know you like that, Steve, don't you? The changing of the defenders.
Yeah, I can understand that you want to get some game time into Martinez, but I really, really can't understand why you would change defensively. But look, I'm sure that Martinez needs game time. That's a strange one, because I thought Mount was playing very, very well, but he's obviously made a big call, and you analyse from afar. I always analyse what the head coach does, and interesting to see what sort of formation he's going to go to now. Well, I don't think he'll change much. He's just going to change personnel.
He wasn't going to take off Mbeumo because this is the last he's got of him, I suppose, and he's been playing quite well. He's not going to take off Cunha, and he's probably not going to take off Fernandes.
No, and it looks as if they're going to be a 3 or a 4 now, where they've got Dalot to right back.
I think they've gone... Well,
look short of left back.
Let's keep an eye on it. Here's Gallo building up as the third centre-half at the moment, taking the ball forward and playing it out towards the slender figure of Kobbie Mainoo. It's chipped over the top to Shaw, who's on the edge of the penalty area. His low ball into the box comes back to Cunha. He plays it against the defender. It then bounces to Mbeumo, and he sends it over the top of the crossbar. Now, there was an accusation of a handball there against Alex Scott. As the ball came off Cunha, he turned his back. It hit the side of his bicep. It definitely wasn't a handball, but Mbeumo should have scored from the rebound.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that. We've raved about all his performances. He's had 2 wonderful chances, hasn't he, which he just hasn't taken. I would expect him to take that. A really great opportunity, leaning slowly back over it. Nah, you can't get a penalty for that, can you? He turned his back.
Did he lift one of his hands though and palm towards the ball? Just have a look at this little hand. The left hand comes out, and that's across his body. Interesting. Referee has said no penalty. VAR has seen no clear evidence to overturn it, but Mbeumo should have scored anyway. It should have been a moot point, shouldn't it? Here is Fernandes flying the ball out to the far side, chested down brilliantly by Dallo. He's got support on the right from Ahmad, but sends it centrally in towards Cunha. Good header away by Diakite. Back forward by Fernandes. Not entirely sure where he was going with that. It's going to go into the right full-back position where Adam Smith will clear high into the night sky, and it will run over the halfway line and out of play for a Manchester United throw inside their own territory. 20 minutes to go before the end of the game. It is Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 3, live on TalkSport. Tomorrow, Cardiff, Chelsea. Wednesday, Newcastle against Fulham is on TalkSport 2. Manchester City against Brentford. The other quarter-final from the Carabao Cup. It's a big week of Carabao Cup action. If you're wondering where the other quarter-final is, well, because of Crystal Palace's involvement in the Conference League on Thursday night, live on TalkSport 2, we had to move that one to the 23rd of December. That's on next Tuesday night. Of course, it'll be live on TalkSport. Foul on Kluivert, which gives a free kick to Bournemouth, and it's going to be a free kick just short of the centre circle away to our left-hand side. And Manchester United, when winning at half-time at home in the league since May 1984, have played 388 games. They've won 355 of them. They've drawn 33 of them. They have never been defeated when ahead at home in the league since May 1984.
Wow, that's some statistic.
Yeah, but they haven't lost yet. There's 18 minutes to go, and Ruben Amorim doesn't want that on his record, that's for sure. Ball upfield by Dallo, poor ball forward by him, and Mbeumo wins it back. Across to the left goes Truffert. Here goes Mbeumo again, and then it goes back centrally into Diakite. Benjamin Sesko putting him under pressure, working really hard to try and win it back. Here is Kluivert on this near touchline, sending it round the corner, trying to pick it up for Smith, who's crossing the box, is headed behind by Shaw. It goes out for another corner.
Wonderful football, this time from Bournemouth. I have to say he's a very, very clever player, Kluivert. He's got the ability to run in behind, but also finds that little pockets where he gets into as that number 10, and certainly there showed his pace to get it down the touchline.
Only one goal in his last 20 Premier League appearances before tonight. That's another dry spell, a bit like Semenyo was going through before tonight. After a run of 10 goals and 4 assists in his previous 15, he was very productive at one point for Bournemouth in the middle part of last season. They have a corner here, which will be sent in over on the far side, and the delivery will come in from Kluivert in towards the near post. Oh, and it wasn't well dealt with by Heaven. Eventually now Mbeumo gets it away, and Manchester United can counter-attack at pace here, and they've got numbers over, and Sesko's going through the middle, but Ahmad is the one controlling the play. He runs up over on the far side, the right. He crosses the ball towards the back post. There's a collision off the ball that the referee hasn't punished, and Mbeumo down the left. Oh, he's played it poorly into Shaw. It goes straight out of play, and then Fernandes says, well, you've got to bring it back. He didn't, because there was a collision off the ball, because Manchester United had the ball. They played the advantage. Manchester United messed it up.
Yeah, you can certainly see why the referee let it play on, because obviously United were in a dangerous situation. But unfortunately he's missed the pass, hasn't he? He's missed the pass big style, and Mbeumo, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think the ball from Ahmad was particularly good, but then Mbeumo's got to either play it into the feet of Shaw, or he's got to feed Cunha, who'd run beyond him. He didn't do either of those two things, and Manchester United's attempt comes to nothing. Cunha, now Kobbie Mainoo into Benjamin Sesko, who's galloping forward here, tries to take on Senesi, who stands in his path and does well to defend the ball on the floor, slides in, knocks it out and away for a throw to Manchester United, who are trying to come on strong here, but Bournemouth are repelling them at the moment. After conceding 2 goals in the first half, they have hardly created much in the second. The only attempt that they really had was the one from Cunha, which was tipped onto the bar by Petrovic. Ball forward into Cunha this time. He tries to get round the corner and shoot from distance. It's flapped out by Petrovic, comes back out to Fernandes, played against the defender. That was a handball by Smith. That's going to be a free kick on the edge of the penalty area.
Well, that's certainly a free kick. And Bruno's the first one to take the ball, isn't he? I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking the free kick as well.
Well, he was wandered into a productive spell, Bruno. 2 goals and 6 assists in his last 8 Premier League games. He's created the most chances in the Premier League. He's grabbed the ball immediately and wants to take this free kick because it's Manchester United 2, Bournemouth 3, on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. 41 years since Manchester United were leading at home in the league and didn't win. Ended up losing. Here's the free kick then, right on the edge of the box.
I think the goalkeeper will be disappointed that he didn't keep a hold of the initial shot as well.
Oh, he flapped it, didn't he?
Yeah, he just got something on it. Should have really caught it for me.
14 minutes to go. And a free kick. Oh, that's a yellow card here for messing around in the wall. And it's Senesi, I think, who gets the yellow card there. He was arguing with Simon Hooper, who eventually got a little bit frustrated, and that's going to be a yellow card. They've got a draft excluder, a 4-man wall. It's just left of centre, this. And Bruno Fernandes has got to try, and it's a bit close to the edge of the penalty area. He's got to try and either get it up and over the wall into the near corner, or try and test the goalkeeper at the far post. I think he'll try and draw this down towards the near corner. He hits it towards the far corner and scores a terrific goal. Manchester United are level, and it's Bruno Fernandes, a right-footed shot into the top corner of the net. It is fantastic from the captain, who steps up at the right moment with the right delivery to make it United 3, Bournemouth 3. That is a Christmas cracker.
Oh, well said, Simon. How can people doubt this fella? I mean, what a wonderful free kick that is. Right into the top corner where the goalkeeper should have been maybe standing, but no goalkeeper is going to save that one. Absolutely wonderful strike from a really, really talented player.
That is an absolute superb finish from Bruno Fernandes.
I know it's gone over the goalkeeper's side, and you can say the goalkeeper shouldn't get done, but he's nowhere near it. He's a yard away from it. It was that good in the execution.
It was a brilliant finish. It's so good. He's nowhere near it. It's flying into the net. He's so far away from it. He was in a different postcode.
Maybe 2 goalkeepers wouldn't have saved that one, I have to tell you.
It was such a good finish from Bruno Fernandes. And Manchester United are back all square. What a brilliant game of football on TalkSport. It's part of the festive 50. And this is going to be one of the standouts. Manchester United 3, Bournemouth 3. Evan Nilsson is off. Junior Krupi is on. As Bournemouth go in search of a goal which might put them back on top again. Listen to this Old Trafford crowd. Vibrant atmosphere here. Ball thrown down the line by Shaw. Headed by Cunha into the path of Inverno. Now they've got the bit between the teeth again, and Šeško is running down the left-hand side. He's got Ahmad at the far stick. He comes to Cunha. Cunha makes it. Oh, it's brilliant! What brilliant football from Manchester United, and now they have taken the lead once more. They've restored their advantage, and Cunha has popped it into the back of the net at the Stratford end, and Manchester United have gone 1-0 up, 2-1 up, and now they're 4-3 up. It's a magical night at Manchester United's Old Trafford, and Cunha gets the 7th goal of the night, and it could be 7th heaven for Manchester United.
And wonderful substitutions from the manager. He's made the difference by putting 2 up the top. Ball played into Šeško, and he tried to put it across and ricocheted into Cunha. And what a cool finish. Couldn't have an easier finish, to be brutally honest. But what a game of football we're witnessing.
It's brilliant. Fantastic football. A real entertaining clash. It's 4-3. Matthias Cunha with 10 minutes to go. And Bournemouth picking it up from Cunha on the halfway line, brushed past Diakite. Šeško took over, tried to feed the ball into the centre. Poor defending actually by Trufer, who gave the ball straight back to Cunha, edge of the box, and he's popped it in at the Stretford end, drawing it down low to the goalkeeper's left, and it's 4-3 to Manchester United.
Well, they certainly asked the question. They put the ball forward. They've made Bournemouth make a mistake in the clearance. Felt to Cunha. They've been very, very brave in these substitutions, you have to say. Put two up the top, basically playing with two wide players and the two strikers. And they've got the reward.
Well, he's done a bit of samba dancing to celebrate there, Matthias Cunha, and I think he deserves the limelight.
He can do what he wants as long as he gets the winner.
4-3. And it's value from Manchester United. Absolute value. If you come here and paid your ticket tonight, I think you've got your money's worth, don't you? 10 minutes to go. Can Manchester United hold on or even further their advantage? I mean, to be honest with you, I think they should try and further their advantage because they cannot hold on.
No, it's not Man United to hold on. Go forward and get the fifth.
Up towards Ahmad, come up by Trufer. Trufer takes it down the left touchline and tries to feed it into the path of Junior Krupi, who comes infield, gives it to Evan Nilsson. Good strong tackle by Alessandro Martinez. Comes back out of Scott now, who's going to try and drive it down towards the far side. Goes out of play. It's going to be a corner, is it? No, goal kick, says Simon Hooper. It's currently Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 3. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Manchester United to win at 7-1 on. The Bournemouth win is 28-1. You can back the draw at 11-2. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Adam Smith gets a yellow card. And Iraola is not happy. Adam Smith was arguing because he thought that went out for a corner. Dissent from him. And Iraola furious on the near touchline. Ball up towards the halfway line. Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy is back tomorrow morning on TalkSport Breakfast from 6 o'clock. You can tune in for all the reaction to this extensive preview of the third Ashes Test in Adelaide, and we'll build up to the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, all of which are live across the TalkSport network. And of course, remember, you can watch the show if you've got a smart TV, or you can go on the TalkSport YouTube channel. There's no excuses to miss breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. when you wake up. Now, Manchester United have come from behind to win the game at this moment, but there's still 8 minutes to go and anything can happen. Here is Luke Shaw on the near touchline, looking to try and feed the ball into Fernandes. Scott shrugs him aside. Referee doesn't give the free kick despite the protest from the Manchester United faithful. Cunha misses the ball. It goes back towards Tavernier, who kicks it out of play on this near side, and it goes out of play and away for a throw-in. 03717223344 if you want to speak to Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara. The sports bar will be open for business very shortly. All the big headlines of the day reviewed by those boys. You're a sports bar fan? I mean, not in the literal sense. I mean, in the talk.
I quite enjoy a sports bar. Yes. Literally.
Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara, full of fun. Let's just say that. After 10 o'clock.
I'm sure it is.
Here is Krupi inside the penalty area, left-footed shot into the far corner. It's 4-4, and Manchester United punished for sloppy defending again. It's Krupi inside the penalty area, picking the ball up and sending it into the far corner after another mess up in the Manchester United defence. He does the somersault celebration because with 6 minutes to go, it's all square once more at Old Trafford.
Well, what a game of football we're witnessing, but I have to say some of the defending, what we're seeing at the moment, is quite ridiculous, really. A goal out of nothing, a throw in Man United give the ball away. They miss a challenge in the middle of the pitch. Again, it seems to have just a ricochet. They've gone through. It's a great finish from the guy. Awful defending, you have to say, Sam, isn't it? Awful defending.
5 minutes to go before the end now. Manchester United have got to come back and try and win it all over again. It's constant development. I mean, what it tells you is that these two teams can certainly score goals, but it can also tell you another story about their defensive abilities, Steve Bruce.
Yeah, unfortunately Adnan's got himself in a situation where if he's got a little bit more defensive brain, he has to win that challenge. Unfortunately he doesn't, which obviously he's an attacking player, doesn't see the extreme of it, has to win that challenge. And now Bournemouth have got their tails up, and you wouldn't be surprised if they create another chance.
Well, there's 5 minutes to go. Manchester United have won this game 3 times, and they could still lose it.
Isn't that the beauty of the Premier League, though? Fair play to Bournemouth. They could have wrapped it in as well.
What a fantastic game. You're absolutely right. It does feel like two teams wrestling with their identities, though, doesn't it? Struggling to keep the goals out at one end and trying desperately to score at the other. Ball thrown in towards Jimenez, who got a little flicked head on it, but nothing more than that. The ball bowled out by Senna Lomans out towards the far side. Goes infield towards Aidan Heaven, and then it's picked up by Fernandez. Now on to Martinez, into Cunha. Cunha trying to turn, looks to try and feed it forward. It's picked up by Shaw, and down the touchline it goes. It's repelled by Smith, and it goes out for a throw-in. Martinez into Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo plays the ball across in towards the feet of Dalot. Dalot goes outside, and Manchester United on the attack now with Amad Diallo, who runs up to Jimenez, cuts in field. He's got 3 in front of him though in blue shirts. He needs some support. He sends the ball into the area. It's half clear, comes back to Bruno Fernandes, and he just volleys it forward, and it's a bit of a waste, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left. 86 minutes on the clock. It is Talk Sport. It's been a thrilling match, non-stop. Goalmouth action at both ends of the pitch. Manchester United scoring 4 times, Bournemouth scoring 4 times. And Sir Alex Ferguson, who's sitting in the stand just a few seats away to our left-hand side, has certainly been richly entertained. He only won the 13 Premier League titles.
Wow, quite incredible.
They haven't won any since he's retired.
I know, it's quite incredible, but he certainly was always going to take some replacing, but I don't think any of us would have seen that man. You wouldn't have won it for a decade since he left.
Here is Aidan Heaven into the final 3 minutes of the game. A point at Old Trafford could be the reset after a run of defeats and dropped points for Bournemouth. A reminder that their underlying performances will stack up, but a defeat will certainly cost either of these two teams dear. Manchester United trying to get over the top with Mbeumo, cut out by the goalkeeper, sent towards the far side, and it's picked up by Amad Diallo, goes out of play, and it's thrown in quickly. Oh dear, they give the throw in the other side of there. No, the 2 balls on the pitch at the same time. Now Amad throws the ball in towards Bruno Fernandes, who finds Mbeumo. Lots of men behind the ball for Bournemouth now. They look to try and get up the pitch with Semenyo, who goes through the centre circle. He goes past Kobbie Mainoo, who's got support on the left-hand side from Tavernier. He tries to play it infield. He's being chased by Fernandes. It comes back to Jimenez, who's 10 yards short of the penalty area. He floats the ball to the far post. It's headed away by Adam Smith, and then out as far as Cliver, who sends it wide towards Smith again. He's crossed into the box. It's a dangerous one, flicked away by Kobbie Mainoo as Scott tries to bring it down. He's robbed by Sesko, and now he scampers away, but he's got no support with him. He has to hold on to the ball here. He just runs into traffic instead, and he gives the ball cheaply away to Bournemouth.
Yeah, he didn't have any real support, but he must keep a hold of the ball. Can't give it away in that dangerous area like he has done. Put Bournemouth on the attack again.
Yeah, they're coming forward, and it's the blue shirts steaming forward with Clivert setting up Smith down the right-hand side. He tries to come in field, but it's Cunha who gets back to help out the defence. He takes it wide to the touchline, pokes it back in field. Jimenez follows him in, but it's Lisandro Martinez who feeds it to Kobbie Mainoo. Manchester United got it in the left full-back position, but they want to get it forward quickly. There's 2 changes coming here. James Hill and David Brooks about to come on for Bournemouth. Manchester United being urged forward in the final minute of the match. It's 4-4 on Talk Sport. Is there going to be a late dramatic winner in the game? Manchester United will certainly hope so. It's been a fantastically entertaining game, but Manchester United will feel as if they have dropped points here after their dominant first half display. Here is Fernandes, back to Costello. I think you have to credit Bournemouth though with the way they've been approached the game in the second half, Steve.
Oh, they certainly have. They've been wonderful. I have to say, it's been a wonderful game.
Here is Kobe Mainu on the edge of the area trying to find Cunha. Just about to get into stoppage time. Cunha tries to shoot down low towards the goalkeeper's left, and it's well saved by Petrovic, who hasn't had the easiest of nights. Big fixtures coming up for Manchester United. Aston Villa away at the weekend. There are 8 minutes of stoppage time here. Newcastle then at home on Boxing Day. We'll do that one live on TalkSport. Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, then Leeds away, Burnley away, Brighton at home in the FA Cup third round. For Bournemouth, they've got Burnley, Brentford, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham and Brighton over the Christmas period. A massive run of fixtures for both these two teams. 8 minutes of added time. Off comes Justin Kluivert to be replaced by Hill. A regressive substitution because Hill will go into the back line and Brooks comes on for Tavernier. That's more like for like switch. So Bournemouth just trying to shore things up as they go into stoppage time. Steve Bruce.
Yeah, they'll be delighted to take home a point now from this situation that they're in. It's interesting to see there's a couple of Man U players looking a little bit ginger, I have to say. A little bit tiredness creeping in, so it's not a given that it's going to be given to Man U, because the centre-back in particular looks very, very uncomfortable.
Well, it's a result that both will probably take if they were offered it before the game, but not one, I think, having reviewed the match, that Manchester United will be too happy about, and they will miss the chance to go into the top 5 as a result of this, Manchester United, and I think that'll be rather disappointing for Ruben Amorim, because there's been some great moments in the match for them, some good football played, but they still haven't got over the line.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Heaven comes off. He's been struggling for the last 4 or 5 minutes by the looks of it.
Well, they're going to bring on Patrick Dorgu in a second and Joshua Zirkzee, but there's a long ball into the box here from Semenya they've got to deal with. It's headed away by Kobe Mainu, comes out as far as Truffert. Truffert tries to recycle it towards the far side. It's picked up by Krupi and sent into the centre. It's brought down by Cunha, who's looking to clear it. He manages to get hold of it well, and then he runs the ball out on this near side with a lovely bit of skill to take Manchester United up the pitch and take 2 Bournemouth players out of it. He sends the ball over to the far side and finds Amad Diallo. He runs up towards the edge of the area here. He feeds Bruno Fernandes. Low ball into the box. It goes right the way through the 6-yard area. And Šeško doesn't get on the end of it. It runs across his toes. He needed to dive in there, Steve Bruce.
He needs to break his neck to get in there. He knows it's going to come across the face of the goal. That should be one of them 6-yard tap-ins. Unfortunately, it's just whizzed past him and the opportunity's gone.
Manchester United will go up into 6th position if it stays like this. Off comes Shaw, on comes Patrick Dorgu. Josh Zirkzee is on as well.
I'm surprised at that, I have to say, with Heaven the way he is, limping around and taking some sort of tablet or glucose pill or whatever they take these days. But certainly he looks in a bit of distress, the lad.
And Burmo coming off down this near touchline. He really does, doesn't he? He doesn't look at all comfortable away to our right-hand side, does Aidan Heaven. Here's Josh Zirkzee on the ball, feeding it out to the left-hand side. He doesn't really get the perfect contact on that. Goes straight out of play and away for a throw-in to Bournemouth. 4-4 the score on TalkSport, with just mere minutes remaining. 5 still to play at the end of the game. 25 shots Manchester United have had in this game. They've had 9 on target. Bournemouth have only had 11 shots, but they've scored 4 goals. Heaven away. Ball drops down into the middle of the park. There's a handball by Kobe Mainu. His hand was up, out his natural body silhouette, and as a result he's given away the free kick in a dangerous position right at the end of the game, Steve.
Well, they're certainly going to ask the question now of putting the ball in the box, and both teams have struggled with it, you have to say. Big opportunity now to get the delivery right from Bournemouth.
Well, Bournemouth will try and get this into the box and try and cause Senna Lomans more issues. It's going to be Brooks to take it, left-footed, arcing the ball towards the edge of the 18-yard box. James Hill runs towards the edge of the area. It's going to be Brooks to take it, left-footed. He's going to try and find the penalty spot here. Zirkzee's almost headed back behind and out for a corner. Well, I think he tried to head it clear, Steve, and it ended up going off the side of his head.
I don't think he was expecting there was going to be a challenge. He looked as if he just tried to put a head to it, and before you know it, he's got a little bit of a nudge, and all of a sudden he's headed out for a corner.
Which is not what Manchester United need, bearing in mind they haven't been able to defend them so far.
No, you're absolutely right.
95 minutes on the clock. 4-4 at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Bournemouth. A left-footed ball towards the far post. It's headed away by Kobbie Mainoo, and it goes out over on the far side, and it will go out for a throw-in.
And this is going to be another long throw-in from Semenyo, who can be very, very accurate with it.
And across he goes to pick the ball up over on the far side. And Manchester United, who have come back from 3-2 down to lead 4-3, find themselves at 4-4 and nervously awaiting what comes next from Antoine Semenyo. In towards the near post it goes, headed away by Dalot. Back to Semenyo, will get the chance to cross here. He turns and fires the ball back into the path of Jimenez. He resets, right-footed into the box, and the header by Brooks. What a save by Lomans. He preserves a point for Manchester United with his right outstretched foot. It's a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. In they come to the box again, setting out for Brooks for a second opportunity. It goes to Semenyo, it's cleared away by Cunha, and Manchester United might just have survived. Back into the box it goes, headed away by Heaven, picked up by Cunha. He helps it on. Ahmad trying to get away, and a free kick given. And the referee gives a free kick for a foul on Smith by Cunha, and I'm not necessarily sure that was necessary.
I don't think it was necessarily, but the goalkeeper you have to say is just where he might have been at fault for the free kick. He certainly earned his spur there. I have to say that's a terrific save.
Brilliant curled ball into the box by Jimenez, a diving header and a right-footed brilliant clearance from Senna Lomans, who stretched out his right leg and just about helped it away from the goal. It's a super stop at the end of a super match.
Well, defensively it's not been great on both sides, has it? But it's added to a wonderful spectacle, you have to say. It's been terrific to watch, and I don't know what's going on here, where the player probably has to go off. Well, because he's gone down,
he's been sent off the pitch to get treatment.
He's obviously got blood, yeah.
I think bleeding from his nose. Rob Jones is being spoken to. They're down to 10 players as they attack this final free kick. 97 now on the clock. He's got blood in his mouth, Adam Smith, that needs to be sorted out. The referee says that he can't come back on until that's dealt with. He wants to be on the pitch for the final exchanges. The free kick will be taken by Brooks. It's just left of the centre circle inside the United half. It's flown into the box. Bournemouth on the attack, away by Heaven, comes back to Senesi, who strikes it, and it's saved down low by the goalkeeper Lomans, who quickly bowls it out to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United want to get it forward and get it forward quickly. They send it upfield. It's a poor ball by Bruno Fernandes, and it goes all the way through to Petrovic.
I'm surprised with Bruno. He just thumped it up the pitch, really. There wasn't really looking for a pass. It's okay making a long pass, but it was like a punt up the pitch, wasn't it? Went straight through to the goalkeeper.
Well, if it ends level, the narrative always shifts fast at Old Trafford. I wonder what the feeling would be. Classic match, classic Premier League game, full of incident and full of goals. But United will feel as if they've dropped a couple of points here.
Well, I think the Old Trafford faithful have absolutely enjoyed watching them go forward, I have to say.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Well, we all have.
Well, we all have, but defensively, some of the mistakes they've made today has obviously cost them dearly.
Semenyo heads the ball into the air. The ball goes out of play on this near side. It's a Manchester United throw, and they want to get it moving quickly. Quick, says Dorgu, give me a ball. Martinez thrusts one at him. He goes down the touchline. We've played our 98 minutes. They get it forward, up in towards the edge of the penalty. It's an up and under which Trufair tries to deal with. It drops in the Manchester United area, and it's picked up by Fernandes out wide towards the right. One last attack possibly for Manchester United. Dallow's got to get the cross right. He sends it long in towards the area. Dorgu with a header. It's loose inside the box. An overhead kick by Semenyo gets it clear. Comes back to Ahmad inside the area now. He juggles with it. They want to get it into the centre. Dalot sends it forward. It's headed away by Senesi. Mainoo brings it down, tries to get it forward, but it's a poor effort and it goes wide of the goal. And that's going to be the last action of a thriller minute, 99 minutes at Old Trafford.
Well, what a game of football we've just witnessed, I have to say. Typical of the Premier League. Well done, Bournemouth, with the ability in the second half. And I have to say, Man U at one stage looked as if they had put it to bed when they got back up 4-3. But what a game of football it's been.
Been terrific, absolutely sensational. What a football match. Still not dead yet. Here is Brooks trying to get down the outside right. He pokes the ball centrally to Semenyo. Maybe Bournemouth can win it. It's picked up down the left of Brooks. Brooks inside the area. Saved by Lommans again. Right at the death. Manchester United's goalkeeper has got them out of a massive hole. Not once, but twice.
Wow, incredible. Man United here they come again. I have to say about gung-ho.
Here's Xerxes down the right hand side. Referee plays the advantage. It's on to Ahmad. Ahmad moves up towards the edge of the area. He tries to get it onto his left foot. They need to get it into the box. Dalot does that now. Dorgu with a header. Drops down on the edge of the area. Martinez can't get it forward. And that is the end of an absolutely belting football match that after 100 minutes ends all square. What a fantastic game of football. It was chaotic, it was high stakes, there was dreadful defending, there was some serious errors in the match, but it was one hell of a game to watch. No team claims the points, both claim a bit of applause. Football has been the winner, I'm afraid, but maybe Bournemouth and Manchester United will rue the fact that neither of those teams are. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I wonder what's to come for the rest of the season for these two teams. They shared 8 goals. Manchester United led 1-0. They led 2-1. They led 4-3 after going 3-2 down, and somehow only escaped with just a point. And they only escaped with just a point because their goalkeeper made 2 brilliant saves in stoppage time. United 4, Bournemouth 4.